Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today we are creating this look using this palette, the Arrow inspired palette from Adept Cosmetics. This is a first impressions video. I've used the brand before, but never this particular palette. And this palette is having its last restock the day after I am uploading this. It is limited edition. So if you already ordered it, great. Here's some inspo for the palette for you. And if you're still not sure, maybe watch the first impression, kind of hear my thoughts about it. This does retail for, I believe, 68 US, so rather pricey. However, it does include several dual and multi-chromes, which are more expensive, and it's an indie brand. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the palette before we get into the look. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Before we do that, one last thing, if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. I upload twice a week. It's totally free to subscribe. I would love to have you back on the channel again. And I'm currently running a giveaway for hitting 500 subscribers. I will leave the video linked in the cards to that video as well, so that you can enter if you would like to. But of course, being subscribed is one of the stipulations, so don't miss out on that. Alright, let's go ahead and get into creating this lovely eyeshadow look. Alright guys, so I've already got the base and everything all on. If you're curious to know anything I'm using right now, just look in the description, I'll have it all listed. But of course, this is today's feature, and truly, this is a colorful palette. I don't know on camera here how much you'll be able to see some of the shifts in some of the pans. I think if I maybe angle a little bit, you can see not every shade is a shifty shade, but there are quite a few that shift. And if you're curious and seeing more like in-depth swatches and things, I'll leave link to video from Amy Loves Makeup. She did some really nice swatches. I think Annette has some up as well too, but this is just a first impressions video, just a quick little like, is it the same good Adept Cosmetics quality, yes or no? If you're familiar with the brand, you'll know what that means. If not, hi, if you're new, Adept has my current favorite shimmer formula of any eyeshadow palette. So this was an absolute yes for me when I saw it was coming out, especially since it was limited edition. And I'm going to go in with my Ace Beauté Paletopoly P1 brush, and I'm going to go into Cyrus Vanch to start with this kind of like yellow mustardy shade. So as you saw in the thumbnail, this is a limited edition palette. And by the way, yes, I did use eyeshadow base already underneath this, as I do with all eyeshadows. And tomorrow, or at least the day after I'm uploading this video, is the absolute last restock of this palette. So if you would like to get it, that is your last chance. Once it sells out, they will not restock it again. You won't be able to get it anymore. So I thought mine just came, perfect opportunity to do a little look, show it in action, and get to play with one of my 2 January purchases. So if you didn't know, I am currently on a low buy, and I'm limiting myself to 1 to 2 makeup purchases a month. Now it doesn't matter what category it is, whether that's eyeshadow, foundation, lipstick, you name it, only 1 to 2 items per month. And in the month of January, the 2 purchases I made were the Unearthly Cosmetics mystery box, which that was obviously multiple items, but it was, you couldn't buy them separately, so it was like one purchase, so to speak. So I don't know if that's cheating or not, but I literally couldn't buy them separately. It wasn't an option. And I'll leave the video linked for that box if you're curious about that mystery box. And then this one, which even though it's February, it just came in yesterday, the day before I am posting this video. So yeah, those are my 2 January purchases. So I stayed within my goal, and I've only purchased 1 thing so far in February, and we are over halfway through the month. So I'm gonna try really hard, like unless there's something limited edition or something like that at the end of the month, to not just be like, oh well, I only bought 1 thing this month and I haven't hit my quota, so you know I'm gonna buy a second thing just to say, you know, to use my 2 per month. No, if I can get away with just 1 in the month, that's great. That's a good thing. I shouldn't have to, you know, have the mentality of like, ooh, let me use the other second thing this month. I'm going to go into James Holder, the like deeper, more mustardy, just on the outer corner. So I'm definitely a big Marvel fan. Have not gotten into DC as much, but I will say one of the first superhero shows I ever watched that had an absolute chokehold on me was Smallville on the channel, the WB, which I don't even, or is it the CW? I don't know what it is now, but you know, it's the channel that eventually became like Supernatural and all of that stuff was on that channel. But Smallville, I love so much, and I know that kind of sprung a lot of other DC TV shows, such as Arrow, The Flash, that kind of stuff. And I haven't watched any of the other ones, but I've heard a lot of people say really good things about Arrow and The Flash particularly. So I don't know what any of these names or anything currently on this palette means, but it even more so reminds me of the show and makes me go like, oh yeah, I did want to watch that. And I am now even more curious reading these names to possibly see like, okay, maybe if I watch the show, I'll understand it a little bit more. I don't know. I want to deepen up the outer corner even a little bit more. So I'm going to go in with Edward Ramses. It's like deep blue. I think that's probably the deepest matte, but I don't want it to look too blue. So I'm just going to go like a little bit on the lash line. Because like I said, I am trying to use it to like deepen and give dimension, but I don't want things to look too teal. Because I am going to go in with kind of like, I don't know, a greeny pinky type multi-chrome, I think is the shade. It also looks like, if you are familiar with Adept Cosmetics formula, it looks like multiple shimmer formulas. Some of them look much smoother. Like the one I'm planning on using today, this one looks really smooth to me compared to some of their other more like flaky formula. Hopefully you can see the texture. Now when I say flaky formula, it's not a pressed flaky or anything like that. It just looks like some are smoother and some have more texture to them. To me, texture is not a bad thing in a shadow. It can make it more dimensional. So, okay, let's try it here. I'm going to go with the Laura Lee L27 flat brush into Leo Mueller, maybe is how you say it. This shadow actually reminds me a lot, in pan at least, we'll see on the eye. It looks a lot like one in the Mnet new palette. Yeah, this looks a lot like one of the shimmers in the Mnet new palette. Do I need to do a comparisons video, you guys? Like I said, this is just first impressions, but it's been a while since I did a good old comparisons video. Are any of these very similar to already existing Adept shades? Anybody else get this and notice anything like that? So this is, it kind of looks like it's gonna have a greeny flip, but I don't see the green too much in the eye. It's more of like a coppery gold type color, I think. And I think I'm gonna go in with Warren Patel. I've seen colors like this before. I think it's like a pinky bluey, like I said, more of like a toppery type shade. It's if you don't know the difference between topper shimmers and other shimmers, regular shimmers have more like opacity to them. Toppers are more like just for the sparkle effect. They usually don't have any sort of base. It's just like translucent with some sparkle. Oh yeah, definitely has texture to it compared to the other multi-chrome. Is a lot smoother. This doesn't feel as emollient though, I will say. Like the binding agent, it feels a lot drier than some of the other more textured shadows I've tried from Adept personally. Yeah, I don't know about that one with this color combination. What do you guys think? Was that color in the inner corner a mistake? I mean, it doesn't look bad, but I don't know. I just feel like it's missing a little something. I want to do something in the inner corner. Maybe I'll do Danielle Brickwell, this kind of like blue to purple smooth looking one. Just take a little of that. It looks really smooth, and I'll put that in the inner corner. See what that does for us. Ooh, that's a little dark for an inner corner maybe. Yeah, I don't know if that would do that for an inner corner. Again, I think it looks a lot lighter in the palette than it does on the eye. It looks a little dark in the eye. Can you guys really see it? It's not awful. Definitely interesting. There's a lot of color combos you could do with this. You know, I went for more of the like olivey, mustardy greens rather than like the minty or the true greens or like the teal. A lot of purple options too. Those don't look purple to you now. I don't know if can you see the purple there. It's like pink to purple to green. Like it looks so different in person than what I'm showing you when I hold it up. This is, I think, gonna be the look for today for first impressions. But of course I'll add like a liner, lash, the works. Let me come back and show you the final look and kind of give you my first impressions of this palette. All right guys, and here is the final look. What do we think? First impressions. I'm curious to try it more. I love Adept. Curious to compare that one to the shade in the Mnet New, which they're also discontinuing, by the way. I don't think I've ever filmed with the Mnet New, so let me know if you'd like to see a video with that too, maybe paired with some more looks from this one. I don't hate the look. It's growing on me the more I'm wearing it. I feel like liner and lashes always brings the look together as well, of course. So yeah, it's something a little bit different, fun. Definitely don't regret having it. Love Adept Cosmetics. And excited to try something a little minty too, I think, in the future. So yeah guys, that is all for this video. I hope to see you back again in the next one, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.